Admiral Havelock and Lord Pendleton are in the courtyard. I expect they'll want to congratulate you.
He's alive. Thank you, Corvo, thank you. My uncle's a good man, and one day he'll prove it. Here. I know you did this for the right reasons, but I want you to take this as a reward. It's an old heirloom one of my aunts gave me.
They're all corrupt. If this is going to work, we have to take down the Lord Regent and all of his key allies. You know that.
Yes. Hopefully the High Overseer is the first step along that path.
And we must find the girl, Emily. Poor thing. Who knows what her mind is like, being there when her mother was killed.
I'd imagine the daughter of an empress is tougher than you think.
Quite right. In any case, we won't get the Lord Regent until we weaken his base. All the pieces are in play. He controls the City Watch. Through Campbell, he had the religious faction. Someone is funding the military. And he currently has a majority in Parliament.
Yes, I'm aware of that. My brothers control the voting bloc for my family. I'm very much aware of that.
Sailors tell tales of monsters far out to sea. But I'll tell you, there's strange things in this river no one talks about. Lights in the water, late at night. I've seen faces, too.
Can I be of service to you?
Inspiration is coming faster. My mind works faster at night than it does during the day. I'm being swept away, and I can no longer tell if it's genius or madness. When Corvo arrived, he brought some force from the void with him. Or perhaps
There is something to you, isn't it? You went and spanked the High Overseer in his own house. I hope the tools I designed for you function to your satisfaction. The fact that I am standing here and talking to you affirms that this is true, in several ways.
The Admiral was right in recruiting you. Nothing's been the same since the Lord Regent took power. But at least Campbell's gone and my uncle lived. Next time I see my uncle, I will not mention my knowledge of any of this. But he will wonder why I'm smiling. Someday he will be in a position to help you, and he will not hesitate. Just you wait and see. I feel hope.
My pa always wanted me to be an overseer. If he could see us now. You did right, Corvo. Even as a faithful man, I can see that. Some nights, I'm glad I just paddle the boat.
Do you mean to tell me you don't know how to curtsy properly?
Please, sir. I was never in service with a noble.
That's not an excuse. You need to learn proper decorum. The Hound Pits has seen a few lords and ladies in its day.
If they were here, I expect they didn't want to be recognized, sir.
Never mind that. Lord Pendleton ought to be shown the respect he deserves. He doesn't require it, but he notices.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
But even so, have you forgotten we may soon be guarding a future Empress? You will be in the presence of the most important person in the entire known world, and you don't know how to curtsy.
But she's just a child, and she's not even here. No one knows where she is.
Well, our masters are just the people to find her, I'll have you know. Please learn your manners before then.
Memoir, Chapter 28. Waverly, Waverly, Waverly. The very name sweeps one away. She came into our cold marble hall.
My father
and brought
served in
light
the field
and
under
warmth.
General Alfred Pendleton,
She changed
where he
our
took the
lives
wound
forever.
that crippled him.
It was only later I realized
I
she
hope
was
I
a
will be no
traitorous
less
little
if called
weasel.
upon.
Like
Until
all the
then,
Boyles.
well, there is plenty of silver to polish. For my master's sake, I do hope a finer vintage becomes available. Why did they select such a drafty building as a base of operation? I had hoped the Admiral was of noble stock, but I very much fear he achieved his position through merit alone. Does no one have any silver polish?
Corvo's proved his abilities beyond question. It's not anyone who can walk into Holger Square and put down the High Overseer. And now we're faced with the question, could he be dangerous? Events are going to move quickly now. The storm's rising. You did it! Somehow you took down the High Overseer Campbell against the odds. I knew you were our man, Corvo. With Campbell gone, we've hurt the Lord Regent immeasurably. And with Martin back, we'll have the finest strategist alive.
The Lord Regent must be shitting himself in Dunwall Tower.
Yes, and Campbell's journal, let's not forget. Our hope is that in these encoded pages, the location and condition of Emily Kaldwin can be discovered. Our entire movement will mean nothing if we can't place the rightful heir on the throne. We must act fast. No doubt the Lord Regent is holding Emily somewhere, waiting to reveal her, to step out as the hero and further cement his regency.
If he doesn't bring the young lady forth soon, there will be infighting among the nobles as to who should succeed the Empress.
Yes, time is against us. But now you should take a well-earned rest, Corvo. We will decipher the contents of the High Overseer's journal and share them with you later.
I know the Golden Cat.
Not as a patron, mind you. I designed some specialized devices for them. I kept blueprints. If
I'm getting a
anyone
frequency
is
reverberation that
Don't.
confounds some of my
I brought you tea
experiments.
as a courtesy to a colleague.
I
won't make
suspect
that
there are
mistake
some
in the
kind
future.
of empty
I'm sorry, I
chambers beneath
only
this
thought...
building.
Never
In a
mind.
district this old, anything is possible.
Thank you for the tea.
I have to get back to the Admiral. He has news for me.
Hello. My name is Samuel. This machine was tossed into the river by the Admiral, but I fetched it. And it appears to be working. Let's see if it is. Test. Test. There we go.
Hello, Corvo. I expect Martin will be joining us shortly. I hate to start your day with such a strange matter, but the servants heard something last night, moving through the storm drains beneath the building. Most likely a weeper, the poor bastard. There's no hope for them once the plague gets that far along. Nothing more than a shuffling corpse full of sickness and insects, if you ask me. I'd appreciate you investigating, just to be sure it's not a nosy guardsman that's getting too close. Here's a key to the hatches. I'd send a servant down there, but they'd die of fear on the spot, I'm afraid. Maybe Piero can concoct some sort of sleep poison for your crossbow if you want to go that route.
Ah, hello, Corvo. Cursed reapers, roaming all over the city. This movement will have a cost. For some of us, it will be very high. I wonder, Corvo, do you have brothers somewhere? You left your family on Serkonos to come here for the Empress, didn't you? There will be lasting consequences when this is all said and done. Make no mistake about that.
You went down there in the sewers? I thought I heard a Weeper in there earlier. You're probably the bravest man I've ever met. Overseer Martin has arrived. He's with Admiral Havelock now. They want to talk to you.
Corvo, I trust you remember Martin, an overseer before, and perhaps again someday soon.
I owe you thanks for my rescue.
Indeed. You've given us a glimmer of hope, Corvo. Because we've gotten what we wanted from Campbell's journal. You've done it. We know where Emily Kaldwin is being held.
The Golden Cat, of all places. A bathhouse for aristocrats. Little better than a cursed brothel.
But there's an unfortunate twist. It appears that Pendleton's own kinsmen stand in our way. The twins, Morgan and Custis. Not only are they controlling Emily, but they have the controlling parliamentary votes we so desperately need.
Yes, the Pendletons have to die. But most importantly, Emily must be brought here safely so we can protect her until the Lord Regent and his entourage have been dealt with. Pendleton's waiting for you on the dock. He's asked to brief you personally. I think it's best. Campbell's book appears to contain much more than we expected. He was blackmailing a number of highly ranked overseers. With the information in his journal, we will be able to manipulate the religious faction. The overseers will bend to our will. You've never been to the Golden Cat? No, I suppose not. Me neither, of course. Interesting. I won't ask, but the mark on the back of your hand. Are you studying the forbidden arts, Corvo? Never mind. We're all friends here. My neck still aches a little from the stocks. But I must say, you created quite an impression on the overseers during your visit. They are a nervous lot now.
Hello.
Corvo, a moment if I may. Corvo, I've asked to speak to you myself. You see, I'm sending you to kill my older brothers, Morgan and Custis. They're horrible men. It's true, as you may have heard, cruel beyond words. Further, my brothers are close allies to the Lord Regent, and as long as they are in Parliament, we cannot gather the votes we'll need to stop the Lord Regent from further consolidating his power. These days, they're best known for exploiting their favor with him to cheat others out of their wealth. Let's just say that not every family evicted and quarantined for having the plague actually has the plague. I warned my brothers in every way I could. I really did. But they never did listen to me. They'll be at the Golden Cat tonight at their usual revels. They'll be protected by the City Watch, so it'll be dangerous. Now go. Please do it before I change my mind. A challenge, even for someone like you. 6 months ago, I was out at the estate hunting with my brothers. Custis and Morgan were always better shots, though one of them nearly killed me, all for a cruel joke. Strange. I never thought I'd be the Pendleton heir, you know. I never expected any of this. By the outsider's eyes, I'm going to drink tonight. It'll have to be now, I think. With Campbell out of play, they'll move Lady Emily soon. And in a few days, Custis and Morgan will be out at the estate hunting, and we'll never catch them. Strange. I never thought I'd be the Pendleton heir, you know. I never expected any of this.
Chapter 32. As yet I have said little of my brothers Morgan and Custis. Twins they are, and 4 years senior to me. Morgan is the larger of the two brutes by a slight bit. From earliest memory, they abused me in every way. I'm not the first to claim their elder siblings were cruel, but my suffering was unique, I promise you. At the tender age of 5, they tied me to the crib and set inside it assorted vipers they had collected over several weeks. My howls and my breathing were muffled by a blanket, and so it was hours before the nurse found me, barely alive. I had kicked a few serpents to a pulp, and others had slithered away.
Ah, you're finally back.
Excuse me, Admiral. I was delayed.
Pay close attention to your duty, miss. It will never work without Emily. And when she gets here, you will be her nurse and teacher. In a way, you're more important than Corvo here.
You mean you found her?
We have her location, and I'm sure Corvo will whisk her back here in no time. You, Miss Curnow, are tasked with tending to the most important person in the Empire. Tend to her every need. Educate her. Train her in graces. Cut her meat, if you must. Do whatever is needed. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Master Piero has a great deal to learn in some areas.
If I were years younger, I'd be doing your job myself. Don't think I couldn't. I used to climb
I'm
that
sure
rigging.
Piero will make some lady a fine husband. Some other lady. I might even fancy him, but the way he stares at me, I don't even think he's aware of it. He spends all his time with books and machines. I don't think he understands that I'm not one of them.
Wine's no good for a Navy man. I need a proper drink. You know, we met once, back at your old job. State dinner. You wouldn't remember. You were looking after the Empress. Ah, she was beautiful, wasn't she? A man sees funny things out at sea. The world's not at all like the Overseer's teaching. Not by a long shot. Give some thought to what you'll be doing when this foolishness is over, won't you? Anything you like. Just name it. It's taken some adjustment to lead a civilian organization such as this. In my younger years, I'd have just ordered my ships to fire on the tower, then dragged the Lord Regent to me. But a bright future does not lay in that direction. Once we've got the daughter of the Empress here, We'll be counting on you to protect her. Oh, what I'll do when I get my fleet back. I've broken a blockade or two in my time.
You're lucky I keep you on.
Lucky? This place would fall apart in 10 minutes without me.
Is that so?
In any case, you can't dismiss me. I went through the books this morning and found 5 mistakes you've made.
Very well.
You're lucky I found them before the Admiral did.
My master had a very fitful night. No one sleeps well here. When they come to get me, they'll be surprised. I've held a sword before, believe it or not. Please pardon the untidiness of the room. I will tend to it shortly.
It's a nice old pub. These beds have seen quite a bit of use, I can tell you. 2 barrels of flour, 4 weeks, 8 men and 3 women. Oh no, I've lost it. Lady Lydia Pendleton. Ugh, no, I'd rather die of plague. All I ever wanted was to keep a respectable public house. Lady Lydia Pendleton. Ugh, no, I'd rather die of plague.
I'll take you to the Golden Cat when you're ready. I've taken Lord Pendleton enough times, believe me.